Hello, it's me, Keiran. Just a quick one. On this video only, we're going to give away 50% off Gas Certificate app. All you got to do is fill out the form in the description below, put your details in, and we'll give you a call to get you set up and show you how the app works. And yeah, you can get 50% off. So yeah, don't miss out on that one. We're only doing it on this video. If you haven't heard about our app, you can do your certificates, non-domestic, domestic, commercial. You can do all your invoices, quotes, diary management. So yeah, check us out, fill out the form below, and we'll get in contact and give you 50% off. Thank you. Hello, welcome to
Off the Job!
Overtime, where there's banter and your stories shared. Please be warned, there may be some general explicit content.
What time do England kick off?
Fine. 8. I don't know. Have they already kicked off?
Perfect.
Brilliant. Flavour of the week.
My hair look alright.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
You remember to put your phone on silent, are you? Yeah. We're live, yeah? Cool.
I got it on my screen.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us instead of the football. Sorry about that.
There's one person.
I know, of all days, we chose the day when England are playing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, anyway, welcome to the show. If you're listening to it live, thanks for tuning in. If you're listening to it on the recorded version, thanks for tuning in. We've got Ollie from Heat Geeks. We liked him to return to the show because he had such a great opening to our podcast journey, and he's agreed to ask some Q&As, which are going to be flying in it from the one person that's listening to
Not watching the football.
not watching the football. Yeah, so welcome, Ollie. Thanks for coming in.
That's right.
You had a good
No
day
problem.
today. You had a good day.
I've had a nice day.
Are you into football?
No.
Yeah, that's why you're here,
Grew up
innit?
supporting Spurs, so couldn't really be into football.
No, exactly. So,
Send in your questions if you are watching. We need some questions.
Can you see all the 4 people that are watching? Or?
Yeah, I can see.
You
We've
can.
got
Right.
See how many
6
people?
watching, yeah.
Hell, 6 watchers.
I can't see the comments, though.
Oh, that's going to be a bit of an
Let me
hard
ask
one, isn't it?
Abigail. Let me ask the moderator.
What have you been up to then?
Same old. Just work. When there's work, grinding it out. All the nonsense that comes with it, quotes and,
Yeah, I've been doing
pandering to clients' needs unnecessarily.
I've been doing a bit of that. I did 2 quotes yesterday. That's amazing for me. 2 quotes, 3 boiler jobs. So yeah, I did quite well yesterday, considering that I'm a shit engineer.
3 boiler jobs, so you'd be competing with 30 other people.
Who?
You will be.
When?
On the boiler jobs. You quoted 3 boiler jobs.
No, I quoted 1 boiler job and a power flush.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's...
But I did 3 boiler jobs yesterday. I did a Potterton Gold service, a Potterton,
I saw that.
a main.
You used your
Yeah.
spinny wheelie thing in there, didn't you?
I've done it. Yeah, I was good at it, really, innit?
Yeah. I don't do any of that.
Nah.
Sorry, I just look like I'm looking on my laptop at the minute.
Yeah, well, a bit of interaction, Keiran. Come on,
So-
tell us what you've been doing today, Keiran. Oh, he's been painting.
2 videos ago, I showed my boiler service. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look.
That's show me your gay. Oh, sorry. Your baby hands. Look how soft
No,
they
mine
are.
are soft.
Look how soft they are. Look at mine.
That's disgusting.
Mine are like... These are YouTuber hands right now.
Yeah.
From editing videos.
What
you've
was
been
you
doing
saying?
YouTube,
What was you
haven't you,
saying?
since you come here last, you started doing YouTube again.
Yeah.
Have they been flying?
Yeah, it's been going really well, surprisingly enough.
Yeah?
Better than expected.
It's because of us, innit?
Yeah, I got, I don't know if it's 3,000 subs in a month. Which I've
Really?
never done that before. I
Bloody
don't
hell,
think.
that's good,
Blimey.
innit? But that's
The
because you've
last-
been away for a while, probably.
Yeah. I've
Do you
been away
reckon
for
that's
quite a
probably
while.
what it is?
So, yeah, it was you lot that having to kick up the arse to do it. That I just thought I may as well get back to it.
Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah, it
I
was-
need to catch up on them then. I need to watch. Is there anything handy there for me?
No, and they're a bit messy because a lot of it's filmed 5 years ago, and so this is how it works for me. I'm like, I don't remember that. Drag that into my editing thing. And I'll drag 4 or 5 videos, and I'll try and make a video out of whatever calamity of stuff I've brought in, and you will see that.
Yeah.
You will see that.
It's raw, isn't it?
It's just it is.
We like the
It's
raw.
whatever shit got dragged from one place to another
we
place.
like the rawness.
We've got some comments.
Oh, yeah.
Will Crookshanks put evening, lads?
Oh, Crookshank.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny
Pick-
Crookshank.
You got any questions, Crookshank, for Ollie? Pick your phone up, Pete.
Pick my phone up. Oh, I've got to be... All right, okay. What's he put it?
Is that you won an installer award?
Yeah.
John Crookshank, yeah.
Why weren't he at the thing this weekend? That's what I'd ask him a question back. Why weren't he at the charity install?
Oh, there was a charity install.
How
Yeah,
did you go?
yeah, on Saturday.
you?
It was good. Yeah, Scout
Ooh,
Hut.
he's getting into his Instagram and his social media. So
Nah, you won't see me in any photo. Well, you might see me in some photos, but I won't.
They're good, them charity installs. I like. I've not been on one, but I'd like to go on one.
It's a good laugh, and people should get involved. It's. Do you know what? It's really great for just having a laugh with people, meeting new people, and just
I'd go to one.
it's good fun. Lots of people go.
Whereabouts was it?
Doncaster, so not round the corner.
Yeah.
But I stayed up there and had a session afterwards.
How long did you drive? How long's the drive?
3 hours.
I got paid. There's a charity football game up that way. Burnley? Is that near that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a charity football game. Plumbers versus electricians. There's some tasty tackles in that one. I'm gonna go training for that. Well, I've picked my phone up and like, where?
What
Hello.
does he want? Nothing.
What does he want? Talk to me.
Where's the comment?
I've lost the comments already.
Oh, this
Perfect.
is
It's going-
brilliant.
So this is your first live stream.
This is
Yes, our first live stream.
You can tell.
And it's working.
Yeah,
Well, it's working. That's the main thing.
yeah. No, it's
And
that-
you didn't hotspot the Wi-Fi, so you know.
Yeah, this is the first time we've recorded in a
actually
new
got
office.
yeah. No, it ain't.
Yeah. No, like properly with it set
Oh,
up.
properly with
Not
the
like
desk.
holding the mic.
It's really good. That was. I like that. I think
He was like, don't.
We should have.
He was like, don't
got rid
build
of
the
it.
desk
I
again.
felt a lot better without it.
He
You know
couldn't
what I
be
mean?
asked to rebuild it. That's what it was.
So were we standing up or just
No,
sitting
we
on
were
the
sitting
chair?
and we just holding the
Holding
mics,
the
just
mics.
going like this, like John Motson.
It reminded you of stand-up. That was it, wasn't it?
Let me see if I see it. We've got 17 watching now.
Oh, really? See, they're all for you. That's your mob.
That'd be my missus,
Ain't our mob.
my kids.
How many kids you got?
Should I read out a question
Go on,
we've
then.
got for you?
Yeah, go
My
on.
mate's got a question. I did mention it earlier. He said he's got an oil boiler,
Yeah.
no gas there. What would you recommend to fit? He's going to sort of rebuild his house, extension, stuff like that. Would you change the system to air source, heat source? What would you fit? If you had a house, what would you fit?
Yes.
With
See,
no
my
gas.
house, my ideal house is the farmhouse in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and I would have everything from biomass to air source to LPG to oil, so that anything that I could possibly use to give me heat and hot water, I've got. Because
What
then
would
I'd
you,
run
if you only
whatever.
had one option, what would you choose?
In his situation, if he's going to put the effort into insulating the house and that, then he could go air source. Because I said initially, nah. But if he's doing enough work to it, he could do it. But I would probably do a hybrid, so a oil boiler with air source. And I don't know how the grants and all that work, but I think there are grants available for that. I think, and grant the boiler manufacturer do them splits, do them
What would
hybrid
make you
systems.
go for that
Because
split?
you get the convenience of a traditional boiler with the green credentials of the bullshit. Sorry, the air source heat. I don't believe in them personally. I would still have one in my own house. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sure that they're good enough yet for that rural farmhouse. I just don't. I don't think the upfront investment really works personally. Maybe it does, but I don't think it does.
Yeah, fair
And
enough.
you know that people won't agree with me, and the government won't. And
Well, I agree with you.
Someone's wrote a question actually. What do you do about vans, hire, lease, buy, etc.? Like what?
so all our vans are. We bought all of them. I wouldn't do it again. I don't think. Buy. All right.
look-
So what I'll tell you what we did hire vans from a very big hire company, and they were absolutely disastrous. The vans were crap. Had
What
nothing.
you should hire, not lease them.
So we leased them from a very big lease company, and put this. One of them broke down in Islington one evening. They turned up immediately, really quickly, and we thought, bloody hell, that's pretty good. They turned up real fast. They only turned up really fast to check there was oil in it and the engine hadn't failed. Because if there was no oil in it and the engine had failed, we were going to have to pay for the new engine.
Right.
So they turned up rapid for that. Then the recovery team came, took the van away. We never got the van back, but yet they continued to bill us for like 4 or 5 months for that van. And then the other van, when we brought it back, they made out there was over £2,000 of damage to it. When it was just absolute.
So you got to find the right company.
Yeah, so I wouldn't go down that route again ever. I wouldn't. See, we bought vans, but you've got to buy the right vans, and we didn't buy the right ones. I'm not going to go.
Depends what you want to like.
Slating them, but the brand of van, we've got 2 different brands. One brand's been fantastic, and the other brand's been horrendous.
Because a lot of people say leverage your money. Like, if you've got the money there to buy the van, you've got to think, what could you use that money elsewhere to better your company? You could invest it in, I don't know, marketing and just lease the van. I think it depends what you can do with that money.
Yeah, I've never thought, but I'm not very. I don't put much thought into things. Yeah, like you asked me to come down here, I'm like, I don't think about anything. Let's just do it, whatever. Same with vans. We need a bigger van. So just went down to VW with that one and bought a Crafter. I didn't think about what's the best van to get, or how am I going to earn more money, how am I going to save money, what's easier to insure, what gets... Fuck that, went to Volkswagen, bought a Crafter. When I walk into the Volkswagen I go into, the guy's like, you're right, like, fucking come here because you're just going to buy one. I'm going to go, there's that one. That's how it works. I just buy, you know, and... I make mistakes. I bought my...
You flogged one
I had a transporter, 23 plate transporter, and I didn't like it. I got a DSG. I'd never driven a DSG van, and I hated it. And I thought I might grow to like it. I didn't. I'd done 3,000 miles, lost 7,000 quid, but got rid of it just because I can't...
Amazing how much money you lose on vans, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, this is that... I have this argument with clients. Any car or like... motor, how much money that people lose on a motor in a year is what, like you say, maybe 7-8 grand, but getting a new boiler that they ain't had fitted for 20 years, they quibble about 3.5 grand.
Because they can't show a boiler off to their mates. When they pull up at a golf club, the boiler.
That's why we tried to make them look pretty on Instagram, see?
Do you know what?
So you can open a door and go, look at that.
I've got a little story about that, right? There's a house I used to go and look after in Uxbridge.
Yeah.
Big house on the main road. As you're pulling up to it, it's on the main road, so you've got to pull in big electric gates. You buzz, the gates open, you drive down the driveway. On that driveway was brand new BMW X6. So, X6. A Porsche Cayenne and a BMW 6 Series convertible. These were all within a couple of years old. In that big mansion of a house, and I mean probably 7-bedroom house, was a Simi combi boiler, right? Like 28 kilowatt Simi.
Is that the one we was talking about?
And
that ain't the one we was talking about. No, Simi is is that Italian? Yeah.
So the boiler had been installed badly, right? I was there, I'd say, every other month, ordering parts, going back a couple of days later and fitting them. And it wasn't until his wife came, I'd said to him loads of times, look, change the boiler, just change the boiler. You've got a lot of problems here, it's fitted badly, get yourself something decent with a good warranty and get it installed well and it'll do you, you won't have these problems. The guy just laughed, said, I've got insurance, it doesn't matter. His wife came in and she's like, it doesn't matter. I was like... She went, it doesn't matter that every other month we've got no heat and hot water for 3 days. It matters to me. That was the last time I ever went to that house. I didn't even go back to repair that all of that time.
I've got a few comments coming actually. We've Smart Pipe Plumbing had a good point. Never buy a brand new van, you're guaranteed to lose money. It's true. If you buy a brand new van, as soon as it comes off the forecourt, you lose money.
That's why I don't buy brand new vans.
That's why you got to ask the delivery van.
But we've got some ex-Sky vans. They've been brilliant. They're bog standard spec, but I think Sky do something so that you can't wheel spin them. You can't. No matter you put that accelerator to the floor and lift the clutch, it won't wheel spin. So I think Sky do something to stop engineers being hooligans.
Right there, right? Yeah.
Right? And then we've got a much swisher, nicer, more modern van, same van, that's been nothing but problems. And we bought that, it was 1 year old. And it's had, I'd say, over 10 grand spent on it in 3 years in maintenance. It's had a new DPF. Right now it needs a tank.
It's almost
tank.
like luck of the draw, isn't it?
So
When
that
you buy a caravan.
Feeling, I won't name them, but I got a feeling I know the make of the van.
That van is getting traded in. I won't sell that. The Sky vans that we're going to sell, they've been really good other than needing clutches. They've been very good vans. We're going to sell them, but the other one will get traded in and go back to that manufacturer. So, I don't know. Vans are a difficult one. You just got to not get a lemon. Really.
Yeah, find the right company. Crookshank also put hybrid system are the best way to... am I saying this right? MCS are looking at grants for hybrids. Crookshank put, what areas of the trade is lacking in skill set? Breakdowns, installs, renewables, education.
I think renewables, the right people are going into it. The people that want to, because it's not easy to get. It's expensive to get into renewables.
Yeah.
So the people that are doing it for the right reasons and generally have a bit about them to do it. So I think that's not lacking. There's less of them, but there's less work. I think.
Yeah.
I think install. Unfortunately, install is one of them things where if you go on Instagram or whatever, you see all these amazing installs, like John would do, right? They're fantastic installs, but some people just can't afford that. They can't afford for that guy to do that job. So the standard of installs is, it's a
I had one the other day where I just had to literally take one off the wall and put one on and flush it. And it didn't look pretty or anything like that, but it was just an install, like for like boiler, because people can't really afford you to go too in depth into it. Do you know what I mean?
But some people would look at that and go, like, you've lowered your standards to do that.
No, fuck that.
But that's it. I feel like it's horses for courses.
Exactly.
You do what you do.
I ain't scared to show that shit.
Yeah, no, I know. It's refreshing, right? But like people, I've had a lot of comments on people saying, "Why have you fixed that boiler? That's a piece of shit. Why would you fix that? That needs to be grassed." Well, guess what? That customer didn't have the money to grass the boiler.
Exactly.
So if they haven't got the money to do it and it's got to be fixed, then it's got to be fixed.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's like yesterday I was talking to. I went round to price up the power flush. So the boiler in there at the moment is what is it? Is it fucking? It's a 21-year-old boiler, right? Now, they're landlords, they've got a couple of properties, but still, even though they've got a property portfolio, they still ain't got the cash or the money to actually pay out for, say, $4,000 for a new boiler conversion for a combi or whatever. So I said, I'll do a flush, see if I can remedy anything, because none of the rads are getting hot. Yeah, the boiler does need changing, to be fair. It's had loads of work doing on it, and it's probably not economically great, do you know what I mean? But they've not got the financial to actually weigh out $3,500 for a boiler conversion, do you know what I mean? So it's a case of just doing bits and bobs. But when you think landlords, you think, oh, they're tight, but they've got the property, but they ain't always cash rich, are they? Do you know what I mean?
Homeowners, I was on a bat boiler. I put a video of it because the fluid come out of it, out the top of the spigot. That customer,
I see that, yeah.
That customer, right? That they've got on their from their home insurance, whoever that is. I don't know who it was. They've got they own their own property, but I can see their food in their kitchen. They had food bank bags, right? So they might own their own property, but they can't really afford to even feed themselves.
No.
So they might have a bat boiler, but they can't afford to do anything. Hence,
Exactly.
would have insurance.
Yeah.
And the next person could have walked in there and just went off. Flu. I mean, the flue was short. Basically, it took a lot of effort to get that back on, but that'd be very easy to just bin that off. ID, off you go. But it's not right. No. So you've got to do what's right for the customer, and sometimes that's not the thing you want to do because you're just like, what? Why do I get into this for?
Yeah, it can be.
You've got to do what's right for the people you work for.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I've got, before we go on to the other comments, someone's wrote, Darren Hood,
I know. Oh, do you know him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I know Ollie's sporting a wedding ring, but is it that just to beat off the swaves of adoring ladies asking for a friend?
He's a dick. He's a dick.
I see that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm happily married, and I love my wife, and so Darren can have none of it.
Gad1T put, I fit for Keiran boilers, have done for 15 years. Why does everyone slag them off?
Like all boiler manufacturers, they go through spells. Although Keiran did have a bad spell of boilers for a little bit. Not the current model range. I don't even think it's the one before that. For me, it was the one with the round heat exchanger turned sideways on. Whatever they were, with the flue collector coming off one end, they were shocking.
I don't think I ever worked.
They were shocking boilers. But the current Vocaras seem... I'll tell you something now. All boilers are good and bad for different people. So I would sum up a Worcester, like a Junior, is great for an installer. Chuck it on the wall. It's got big waterways. It don't matter how dirty the system is, the thing's going to work. It's going to work for a long time. But then when it goes wrong, it's a nightmare for the person fixing it. But the customer, for 7 years, say, will think that's been a fantastic boiler.
Would you suggest, like, Worcesters, right? Because every time I walk up to a Worcester, and I don't know the history of it, I will do a full strip. Would you say they need a full strip every year?
No, but they definitely need that probe, the analyzer probe putting up, checking the red seals and whatnot.
Yeah. Like, just a sweep,
Just make sure that there's no approved way of doing that, but that's what I would do, and they are crap.
But would you, if you was looking after it, how often would you strip a Worcester down, like the full lot, and give it a wash out?
I didn't do my own boiler for 11 years. So
yeah, but that's your own boiler, isn't it?
But
What boiler would you fit in your house?
I'll tell you what, I've got a Vaillant in my own house.
But if you had to change it, what would you fit?
I'd fit the next Vaillant, because the pipe works in exactly the same place, and it would be valves off.
But,
boiler off, boiler on. Probably wouldn't even change the flue, right? I'd just bang it on the same flue. I'm just being honest, because I'm lazy. That's
fair enough.
An hour to change that boiler. It'd take me longer to get it from the van into the loft, right? But that's my own house. Yeah. I'm going to do that and then be able to have my shower.
All right. Right. So if you was recommending to a customer and you said like,
I wouldn't recommend a brand.
No, you wouldn't recommend a brand, and nor would I. Yeah, because I had this the other day where I said I don't want to recommend a boiler anymore, just in case.
And then you say it's shit in 2 years. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. So, but what about like say like a Worcester or a Vaillant or such and such? What would you recommend as a strip down? How often on to say like a Worcester Junior? How often on
Worcester
the Vaillant?
Junior, I would say you've got to be opening that boiler every 3 years.
Right.
You've got to do the red seal, do the things. A Vaillant, I mean,
carbon steel.
If I fitted the boiler and I've serviced it 5 years ago, then I'll probably change that seal, give it a light brush out, do the trap on 5 years. I'd say that. I've been to the original Ecotech that had a silicon seal that everyone said failed, right? I've been to them that were like 13 years old still with a silicon seal working fine.
Yeah. Well, the Vogue, Ideal Vogue was silicon sealed. The Potterton Gold is silicon seal, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Probably.
Jesus Christ, mate. What are you talking about? Well, it ain't it's not the graphite seal, is it? It's not the G10 seal.
The thing is, unfortunately, the sector that I'm in, you're not opening the boiler up unless you have to.
Right.
Because, for instance, if you're working for BG and you're getting 24 quid a service.
Exactly, yeah.
And I've worked at companies where, as a contractor, as a subby, I was paid £17 a service, and I had to pay for my own parking, my own diesel. And if it needed a seal, that seal came out of my end, right? So a £17 service, is anyone getting a graphite seal for a school?
No.
No, they're fucking not.
No.
I think you've got another secret admirer. Aiton?
That's my wife.
Oh, is
so
it?
yeah, any bullshit she's saying, that's my wife.
Have you ever thought of a different career path? For example, Magic Mike London. She's checking that you're here.
These people don't watch football, you see. So that's
I just checked the score. It's 2-1 to Belgium.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, more people should come on and watch.
John put Vaillant every 2 to 3 years. Whatever he was talking about, because I was too busy
Yeah.
looking at
Well,
this.
mine was 11 years old, and
ECA silicon seal he put.
what?
ECA silicon seal. Yeah, they are silicon seal. Yeah, but the valence are graphites. You know, even the
Yeah.
top burner graphite seal, and they have the red seal as well, don't they?
Yeah, they have double on the
Yeah.
downfirers. Yeah. So look, I do prefer Vaillant, but with customers, I let them I'll be honest, I let price dictate what boiler they get, because I don't necessarily think there's any real bad boilers. It's
I've always said as long
yeah.
as it's like looked
fitted
after
properly
and fitted
Mate,
properly.
if someone
Yeah.
puts it on a shitty system, it's not going to last. If the system's clean and the gas pressure's right and it's actually commissioned, because that's a big thing, then most boilers are pretty good nowadays.
Yeah.
Even the terrible brands, even things that people slate are actually pretty good boilers. So
John had another question. Do you think long-term manufacturer's warranty on new boilers killed the breakdown / spare
on
side of the
purpose,
trade?
yeah, 100%. That's exactly it's why they done it, isn't it? If they're giving a 10-year warranty, but you've got to have it serviced, and they can sneak in and take that service in, you've now lost your customer for 10 years, because they've got the service in, they'll get the repair work.
Yeah, true.
And let's put this straight as well. A lot of these 10-year warranties from a manufacturer they're not actually the manufacturer warranty. The manufacturer warranty might be 5 years of that, and then the next 5 years are actually a normal insurance policy, like anyone could pay £12 a month for. So that policy, the customer will get the option to upgrade to cover their whole system, and so your customer is now gone forever, because you can't even go and do a rad valve now, because the insurance company has taken that
Covering
work
it
from
all,
you.
yeah, true.
If you can't beat them, join them, right? So that's why we do insurance.
Do engineers try that themselves? Would you ever think about doing that, like a monthly?
I did, yeah. It was on my website. The one I took down in December, it was on there. And we
You
did
could
have a
like
few.
monthly option.
Yeah, we did have a few customers, but we never pushed it. And I would say it generally lost money.
What did you cover? Yeah, that's the thing. If you
We
covered,
had 3 different levels. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Bronze, silver, gold, and gold covered everything. But I would say, I don't know. I want to say 30% of them cost us money, but that 30% that cost us money cost us more than the other 70 made us. Do you know? So overall, it didn't work for us because we didn't have volume. I would say we didn't have enough. We had all the stuff no one wanted to insure: electric boilers, older boilers that other companies wouldn't insure, or brands that certain companies won't cover. We had all of that sort. So we had basically the bottom end of the market in that coming to us, and we were charging the same money as anyone else. So we didn't make money at it.
Andy Blackwell put Vaillant. Oh, my battery's going to die. Get up my phone. Vaillant, I do them every 5 years. I asked them once and was told by technical, if FGA reading's good, then leave it.
The thing is, right, like I'll go back to Worcester. Are you doing fan pressure on a Worcester and it says it's fine, you don't have to clean the heat exchanger. But I've opened them up and them heat exchangers are obliterated.
Yeah.
So that's irrelevant, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but you've got to think at least that gives you an indication of how clean the whole thing is all the way out to the flue. So that's quite a nice test on Worcester. I think it's like relevant. But I'll also say I've had Worcesters where it fails that test, especially some of the bigger ones on LPG. Right, I've had them fail that test. I take every part of that boiler apart, and it still fails the test afterwards. Every part of it. The whole burner, all the heat exchanger, all the flue ways, and I can't get it to pass that test. So
what's that about then?
and it gas rates under. It was within 10%. Forget it. That's what I did. I'm just being honest, That's what I did. I'm not gonna fucking tear my hair out over it. I checked it. The boiler's fine. Maybe it was a restriction on the burner itself. Maybe the fan wasn't up to snuff. Maybe it was dirty. I didn't see any of that. The bearing plate was okay. What can you do? Again, on a 24 quid service.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bollocks, isn't it?
But that's the state of the industry.
Smart Pipe Plumbing, but do you think electric combis will become more mainstream in years to come?
Oh, that's a question.
They have to, because they're saying they're not putting gas into new properties and all that.
Yeah.
It'd take a long time though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I mean,
Well, they are
But
starting.
that was
it.
only
Is-
based
is
around London, wasn't it?
But is that? I'm not too on this. Is that been passed now? Is it what year is that?
they've moved it. I don't know.
Yeah, they've
I don't-
moved it, yeah.
See, I don't pay attention to
Me
any of
neither.
that. But oil was meant to be banned from this year or next year,
I thought
and
gas was as well, and it was 2025.
and they, it's short sighted.
Somebody tell us, when are you not allowed to put gas boilers in new builds? Because we don't
Someone who actually
know.
knows.
We've lost with it because they keep putting it back as they have done.
There's so much going on with it. It's just nonsense. It's just all nonsense. I don't know. I don't think we're going to save the world by going electric, unless we can make electric environmentally friendly when we're not. So
No, electric cars are not environmentally friendly, really, are they?
yeah, but where does our electricity come from? Sibsey posted that, didn't they? Sibsey done. I think a lot of our stuff still comes from coal.
Yeah.
Or natural gas. So the Enfield power station next to me is natural gas. It gives me my electricity while burning gas. So it's all doesn't make sense. Don't make sense to me.
He put this is John Vocera Alpha are great boilers when you look at the spec. And then he said, "Are you going to install her this year?"
Yeah.
2026.
Oh yeah.
I'm going on a 3-day bender this year. I mean, I'm going to install her this year.
Yeah, actually going.
I
Yeah.
am planning to just
Oh, that's good.
be a mess. So I don't think I'm going to be
Oh yeah.
compass
Should we have a
mentis.
beer?
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. That's all I'm going for.
Yeah.
So it said 2035 gas in new builds.
It's stopping.
When? What?
2035.
Can I just say when I-
2030? Is that a joke?
It was
Somebody-
2016 that once upon a time.
was, yeah.
Right? And
So is that true? Is it? It's not really, is it? That ain't true.
John
2035.
put that.
Is it really? Is that true? 2035. You're not allowed to put gas into new builds.
so in 11 years, they think they're going to have it sussed.
But it was
That's
meant
new
to be
builds,
this year,
come
wasn't it?
on, like, look how many houses there are that ain't new builds.
Wasn't it meant to be this year though?
But listen, are they? So that's in new builds, and then they're going to try and ban gas boilers, and then what are we going to do with the Victorian terrace house I live in?
What about the hospitals and all them places?
All the hospitals now run on gas and oil.
Yeah,
You help me get the
both.
comments up on there, my battery's going to die.
we got a charger down there somewhere.
Yeah, so you go and install that.
charger there, Rob.
Tom Fennell has put, don't know if I've missed it, but have you spoke about van break-ins? How's he finding it in London? Has he been done? Mopeds might be the way forward.
I
Still got your
none of
moped?
our vans. Yeah, it's not taxed or MOT, but yeah, I'm going like a ute, and yeah, I still got it.
You got what?
Moped.
When I used to
Okay.
go central London, like Westminster stuff, I go on a moped, and just I could get my tools enough to do a repair in that. But none of our vans are sign written.
Nah.
Just as long as your van's not sign written, and the van next to is more of a target, like Pete's van is just. I mean, I'm surprised.
They want the food.
I think they look at it and they just think, oh,
We need
It's like
bread.
food bank.
Yeah.
this poor fella, leave him alone. He hasn't got any tools. He can't have tools.
Cleaned it out today actually. 'cause
Have you had your van been? Has your van been done?
I have had my van done. I had a van done in Muswell Hill once. I had my caddy I left open once. My caddy that I had in 2006.
The comments come up, Robbie.
I left it open.
I had them up earlier.
I just bought a MacBook Pro, my first ever MacBook, and it was in the van. And I went out to get the MacBook and saw the van door was open.
And then your heart.
And I went over to the van, opened it. The MacBook was sitting there on a high shelf, brand new in the box.
Yeah.
And they'd taken a £40 DIY Bosch drill, 240-volt plug-in. They'd nicked a drill, but not the 1,300 quid MacBook. So
My
that was
Do
scary.
you think all the locks help?
Yeah.
Having all the deadlocks?
Yeah. It only helps because unless they know what you've got. So if you're rolling around with a crafter full of Hilti, people know you've got a hell of a lot of money in that van. They'll nick the van, right? But if you've got deadlocks on your van, they don't know what's in there, and then there's a van next to it that is got no deadlocks and they don't know what's in there, they're going to go after that van, aren't they?
Kev had a good idea. So obviously you have the locks down the side and they always bend the door out, don't they? He said if you can make like some sort of metal plate that covers over that gap.
Well, there's a guy that fits gates inside your van.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name, but I looked at that. But it fits. So you open your thing, and then you've just got a big cast iron gate type
I
thing.
see
in
that.
it.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he's got a video on Insta of him going at it with a sledgehammer.
I never had the. Sorry, it's been a long day.
What have you done all day?
Huffing paint fumes all day.
Yeah, I
You ain't got no paint on your hands, mate.
a little bit. I never had my van done, but I had the wheel. Somebody attempted to nick the wheel off it, and it was on the.
Like a gold wheel or something.
No, it was on the passenger side. Someone just tried to nick the wheel off it, and I got in the motor and I started driving down the road. And I was like, and I got out of me fucking wheels just like that. I was like, oh, you fucker! So they tried to nick the wheels off me fucking motor once.
I've had that. I've had the wheel stolen off a caddy. A transporter. Transporter. The 2 bolts go up from outside.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
had the wheel nicked off transporter.
How did you find using a moped then?
All right.
Did it work well?
Yeah, but you've got to plan for it. So I don't take my normal tool bag. I have a
tool roll.
Yeah, I used to have the tool roll.
Love
and
the
that,
tool roll.
Yeah, because the tool roll's a dust sheet as well, isn't it?
Inspired me. Yeah, I've got to get a new. I want to get a tool roll again.
You tied up your van today, didn't you?
The only problem is no ladder. So you got to
yeah.
wait for the
You gotta have
customer to
the
get
right
out of
jobs,
the room
didn't
and
you?
then hop up on the worktop.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it was.
Depends what jobs you're doing, I suppose.
I
doesn't
do
it?
that anyway. Fuck it, I'm up on the worktop.
McDonald-
all the time. Even when they're about, I'm up on the worktop. That's what we do.
You know, McDonald Plumbing and Heating Supplies said evening, gents. Evening.
Okay, but you. He's alright. He is. Old Paul McDonald.
Tom Fennell put Monday is the gate bloke for your information.
The what?
Monday.
Monday. Munday.
Oh yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
And so Smart Pipe Plumbing put is 2025. Then John put 2025 to 2035. After 35 is totally banned. So maybe there's like a.
Oh, it's just another
link.
bullshit.
Don't
isn't it?
clear that up for me at all.
Clear as mud. Perfect. Perfect. Just like everything else. All government policy is just perfect.
Yeah.
Gad1 Tears put getting to the stage where I would like an apprentice, need some help, and would like to get someone into the job. Realistically, is it viable for a self-employed person to do?
Yeah, I had when I was just me on my own. I had 3 different apprentices.
You can save
I've had
just
a
even
couple.
getting the tools, walking to the. Sometimes you have to walk to the van 10 times.
Listen, they
like-
can save you a parking ticket every day.
Yeah,
If
save
you
you
work in
time as
London,
well,
you
yeah.
just like go put some more money on the van.
It depends
The
how
amount
you...
of time you drive around trying to look for a space, they could sit in the van quick or.
Yeah.
There are some. I mean, it's like all in it. I had a
finding the right
really
person.
good one. I had a really good one in the beginning when I used to work for a company. I had him with me. And we used to get paid for the scrap money and all that at the end of the week. And then, unfortunately, he died, which was
Jesus.
yeah. But he's only young, 26, got cancer. He went to work with my mate in the end.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it hurt me. That did. Yeah.
That's terrible.
But he was a really good apprentice. Like, so he come with me the first week, and after the first week, he went on the piss or whatever, and he phones me up the next day and he goes, "Oh, I'm not going to make it in."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Here we go.
Monday
Here
club, yeah.
we go."
Yeah,
So on the Tuesdays come in, and I've gone right, and I just talked to him. So I went, "Listen," I went, "Don't fuck me around." I went, "If you go on the piss, you go on the piss." I said, "Don't fuck me around, like, because this job you either want to do it or you don't, and I ain't gonna be fucked around. So if you do it one more time, you can fuck off." And he never fucked me around ever again. And he was the best apprentice I ever had, the first apprentice I ever had, and then the other ones that come along were absolutely shit.
I have had some bad ones.
I had one.
But then it like when
I
you're
had one didn't know what a drill was.
when you
Seriously,
you do
didn't know what a
realise
fucking
how
drill
much
was.
there is to learn.
I asked
Though.
him for a drill, he gave me a rip saw.
There's a guy. There's an apprentice that I had that managed to drill himself. he rather than go out on a scaffold, he decided to lean out of the window and drill back. This is to secure a soil stack, right? He decided to lean out a window and drill back to fix the, right? So when he's bringing the drill back in the window...
What do you mean he's drilling backwards?
So he's inside the building, right? He's got to put a clip on a soil stack. He leans out the window and pulls the drill back. But then when he's bringing it back in, he manages to pull the trigger there. I just heard screaming. I went up.
That would have been a not drill, no.
But listen, the drill had twisted up in his skin and was hanging off him. It was horrendous. He sent me a picture of him on holiday. This is a long time ago, right? A long time ago that he worked with me. He sent me a picture of him on holiday and was like, "Can you spot anything?" And it's like, "You got a scar from that?" He's like, "Yeah, he still has a little scar there from that." And I went, "Mate, you drilled yourself. Like, how ridiculous can it be?" He drilled himself. But
it's definitely
But he was a really
having.
good apprentice, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It's definitely worth having one if you can find the right person. It's just being on that. When you're on a shitty dog, it's just nice to have someone there, isn't it?
I had to tell you about one apprentice come along with me. He come along in the afternoon. He was absolutely shocking, right? Like I said, he didn't know what a fucking drill was, didn't know what anything was, right? And I said, and his mate brought him in with him, like who was worked on our team. I went, "Nah, it ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna work for me," sort of thing. Anyway, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I think it might have been a month or so, and I get a phone call. "Oh, hi. I was wondering if you had any jobs. My son's looking for an apprenticeship." Same kid.
Yeah.
I went, "Hang on a minute. Is that Joe's mum?" She went, yeah. I went, "He worked with me before, and he was. I'm not being horrible. He wasn't cut out for it. And I'll be quite honest with you. If you're asking companies to take your son on, they ain't gonna take him on."
Right, I had the same thing. I had an apprentice whose mum phoned up to say he was ill because we'd work late. One day we'd work late, right? He'd only been with me a week, and on not even a week, 3 days. So on the Wednesday we were stuck in Kensington and Chelsea. It was like 7 o'clock when we left there. So it's probably like 8:30 by the time he got home. He didn't come in the Thursday. He got her to phone up and say he was ill. Then on the Friday, she commented to me that it was unfair that he had worked late on the Wednesday. This is his mum. So I just said, "I'll tell you what, my mum's going to phone him later and tell him he's fucking sacked." Right? Ridiculous. But yeah, so he lasted 3 days. But
That's fucking brilliant.
it's ridiculous. Sometimes, and I've had an apprentice who, on his first day, came out absolutely useless. But he's an apprentice. You expect him to be useless. I was like, "Cool, yeah, you know, we could do this. Like, what's your pay expectation?" And he said, "Well, my dad said I shouldn't take any less than £55 a day." A day? Are you fucking kidding me? 55 quid a day.
You better go and fucking work with your dad then.
His dad fits washing machines. His dad fits washing machines for like John Lewis or someone. That's what he done. And so he expected to earn 55 quid a day because his dad said so. And I get that, but I wonder what he's doing now because he lasted 1 day. So it's a lot of hit and miss. And I'll be honest,
You're not giving this guy a good hope.
no, I feel like you have to be a bit brutal with it.
Yeah.
You have to. Because the ones that you're like, "Oh, I don't know about this," they don't work out. They generally don't work out. So you have to just be like, "No, sorry, see you
It's
later."
worth it just
Next.
finding the right person.
I tell you what, that charity event, right? A load of college kids come to them charity events, and you teach them how to do stuff. And I've had the same bunch of them twice now on 2 of them things, and they're actually really quite good. Like they're not standing there looking at titties on Instagram and things like that. They're actually asking to help. They want to work.
You can see titties on Instagram.
Apparently. I mean, you were showing them to me a minute ago, mate.
Watch out, your wife watching. Your wife watching.
But they're not just stood there with their hand in their pocket looking at their phone. They're eager to learn. Eager to get on the stuff.
I had an apprentice like that. He said he wanted a pay rise after like being with me for a month, right? And he's one of them. This was first when like people were really getting more into phones. It must have been about 7, 8 years ago, I suppose. And he was always on it as well. Big, lanky, long streak. And he was literally, he wouldn't take anything in, but his dad was a plumber. and he'd worked with his dad, who was a plumber. Do you know what I mean? He was all right, to be fair, but he wouldn't listen at all, and he would always do it the way he thought
it should be
it
done.
should be done.
Not the way you want it done.
Yeah, and it was just a case of, and then after a month or two, and he said, me father-in-law, or whoever it was, he said, you should be asking for more money now. I went, are you having a fucking laugh? I went, not a chance, mate. You've been here 2 months. I said, that ain't pay rise time. You're
still learning.
Yeah. And
You've got to try and be fair with them, haven't you? It's difficult because I would say, in my experience, apprentices are useless pretty much for the first, not for the first year, but a good 7-8 months of that.
Yeah.
But if after 2 months the guy hasn't got the hang of, oh shit, we're done here, let's start tidying stuff, and he's not already doing that if you're doing an installer, while you're cementing up outside, if you go in and that guy's just stood there on his phone and hasn't started packing stuff up,
you want him to be proactive,
or got a benchmark out and a pen.
Yeah.
You think,
or at least asking you, what should I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? What should I do while you're doing that?
How many fittings though you got to learn? There's a lot, isn't there? A lot of different.
Yeah,
fittings.
but basics.
But I was in the I was lucky. I learned all that stuff in the stores.
Yeah. When I started my first week flat bashing. I was soldering up in the second week. I was soldering pipework, fitting pipework for radiators, because that's what they initially employed me to do.
My guy wouldn't let me do that.
So they put me in fitting, showed me how to hang them, showed me how to clip them, drill them, blah, 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 done all that. Then the next week or 2 weeks, whatever it was, I was soldering up fittings on jobs, fitting rad circuits. And it's just, all right, that's what they employed me to do, but that got me learning the basics of plumbing, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? The actual real basics of pipe work, you know? But, that was, flat bashing is intense.
Yeah, that's what I started doing. That's exactly it. But I wasn't allowed to solder. I'd do all the holes. I'd clip up.
You was polishing.
No polishing.
No?
I'd do all the holes, I'd do the clipping up, and then I'd do the wiring. I wasn't allowed to solder because if we got a leak, he would go absolutely mental. He left me on jobs before when I had leaks. He just left. He just left me with his gear. He just left and said, call me when you're done. That's it. And I'm now draining down a house. 17-year-old kid draining down a house like to redo my work, and then phone, sorry, Len, I'm done. Can you come pick me up? Yeah, he just left numerous times, and he would pull up outside my house, bip the horn 3 times. And he would give me 1 minute to get out of my house. If I would come out and see him driving away, I'd be like, "There," and I'd see that he could see me. He just didn't care. He'd just go.
But that's the way it be, isn't it?
Yeah, but it made me work.
Yeah. But I used to pick up some, because when we worked at the firm, we used to pick up this kid, and I'd be waiting outside his house for 10, 15 minutes in the morning. And I'd already driven 25 minutes to pick the fucker up, and he's still in bed. He used to wind me up. And then when he did get in the fucking motor, then he'd be falling asleep. Yeah. And I'd be like, nah, fuck this, brakes on, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? But
the rage that builds.
I would drive off eventually. Like sometimes I'd be like, fuck him. Nah, bollocks. He ain't got the decency to be up in time for me. I'm gone. Fuck him.
Because Andy Blackwell's put, Ollie, I've learnt more from watching your 20-minute breakdown videos than going on a full day's breakdown fault finding course. How do you get your breakdown jobs? Do you sub to the manufacturers?
Do sub to manufacturers. That's not the best work in the world, if I'm totally honest. The manufacturers we sub for don't give us their... I'm trying to think, actually, that'd be wrong. Some of them do give us their boiler repairs, but most of them don't, actually. We do the things that... We do the other... Remember I was talking about the warranty? Like 5 years is actually on the boiler. The other 5 years is actually an insurance company doing that. So now their RADs are covered, TRV. We're getting the RADs and the TRVs and the room stats, and we're not necessarily getting the boiler work. But the way I got most of my breakdowns is through doing work for people like British Gas, and just, you know, you see what you see on YouTube. Before, lately I'm putting a lot more stuff, like very varied stuff, but before was just a tiny bit of the work I used to do.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do install. I don't want to do it.
No. It's too long, isn't it?
I can't be bothered. I'm too lazy. I want to just go and stand there with a multimeter and go, right, that's what's wrong with this boiler. And
I don't even want to stand there with a multimeter. I just want to go there and go. It's a plate to plate. Let's change it.
You're going to Yoda it like that. Just go, yeah, it's a flange giblet. You need a flange giblet and a power flush. And a new boiler. And a new boiler. And some rads. Yeah, nice.
We're just on audio at the minute.
Hey?
There's no camera.
Oh, what's happened?
He's just sorting it out now.
Oh, no.
Stay with us. The camera's coming back.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
So that guy, said, how do you do your breakdown? How do you get your break? So, you do sub for manufacturers.
Yeah, I do sub for manufacturers, but I sub to big companies like British Gas or HomeServe or someone like that.
Yeah, hold on.
right.
While we're off camera.
Not in here.
What?
There's no windows open.
Not off the table, Pete.
It was a vape. Are we back? Are we back? In a few minutes. What happened?
John Pete can't even get into his van half the time.
I know, it's clean now.
We tied it up today.
We had to move a load of stuff from one office to the other. And that gave me an opportunity to clean the back out a bit.
The door on your van the side door doesn't look like it actually closes.
It doesn't, because somebody's tried wedging it open and I've not aligned it. I'm going to ask my mechanic to do it Thursday.
He put as well, John, I had an apprentice who tried to snatch an immersion live. The tank was 6 floors up. The pressure blew him across the room.
Mate, fucking A for effort though, right?
A for effort.
Snatch an immersion.
I've seen a grown man cry because he went to undo an immersion on a tower block in Tottenham, White Hart Lane.
Yeah.
Grade 1 cylinder or whatever, one of the thick one, because it was on the 3rd floor and it's 14 floors.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. So he went to crack the immersion before he isolated it and to drain it, because if you've got an empty cylinder, it's trying to move.
Yeah.
He went to crack it. Someone had cross-threaded it and managed to make it seal. When he went to crack it, it just popped out.
Oh.
And he hadn't turned the water off. He was an accountant that became gas engineer to emigrate to Canada. And I got a phone call from the office. They were like, "Please go and help him. He's had an immersion pop on him and he's upset." And I turned up. And he was crying. He was a grown man. He was there with a bucket pushed against the cylinder. None of the water going in the bucket. Right? It was just running down. It's just running down. I literally 3 inches of water sploshing through. I walked in. I saw that he was crying. I was a kid. I started laughing and had to walk out. Because, not being funny, what you have to do in this job is when the shit hits the fan, you just got to fucking own it. That's it. Yeah. There's nothing you can do. Sobbing and kneeling in water, holding a bucket against the cylinder that's not doing... That's not getting you anywhere.
No.
You know, just... And the thing is, luckily for him, it was cross-threaded. So when I got there, because I was there to help him fit it, when I got there was nothing we could do. It needed a new cylinder. Mm. So
it's sort of like he could claim that
it wasn't his fault. Yeah. So, that was quite it's quite funny. And I was a kid and I just didn't have any I had no tact. I just walked in and started laughing and
we
walked back out.
We done that once. We walked in on a black Alpha-theme pipe that some Eastern European labourers had managed to crack on the first floor of a flat. And we walked up, they said, "There's a leak in the flat." It sheared off, jagged, right? And it's just fucking hammering out, right? As we walked in the flat, our feet were below, this was upstairs, our toes were below the water level. And me and my mates walked in and laughed, and then, just walked out. And then
you've got to compose yourself and go back in and face it. Yeah.
But we couldn't get in the flat downstairs. Oh. But the water upstairs was... Do you know what I mean? It's this is not going to be good.
It happens, though.
It does, doesn't it? And that's the thing. It's at least you can, when we went through a pipe, my mate went through a pipe. It was only a downstairs flat and it was a void flat. And we said it earlier on in one of the episodes, but he went through it with a fucking angle grinder by accident. But the irony of it was that he'd actually already tricked me by saying that he'd gone through it, saying, "I've got a fucking leak." And then he went through the fucker. Fucking how many thousands of gallons of fucking water, because we was on the ground floor and it was a four-storey flat.
Yeah.
All storage water in the fucking lofts with pigeon shit and everything.
Yeah, that's it.
Just wallop. Empty. And all I remember was this labourer walking along. He was walking past the flat, minding his own business, and we're just there in the doorway of this toilet going like that. And he's just stopped, looked, and he's just pissing himself, laughing at us. And that'll always stand with me. That one. It was just fucking. The thing was, we weren't even meant to be in the flat. It wasn't on programme. It was a void flat, but it weren't even on programme. Have I been what?
I love it. You were just fucking all up.
Oh no! I'm telling
No one's allowed to know this. Yeah.
No one's like to lie. Let me answer this question this was for me, from John. Keiran, are you totally off the tools now? Are you still gas safe?
No, he's on the paintbrush.
On the paintbrush, look.
Yeah.
No, I stopped plumbing about 18 months ago, I think.
Yeah,
I didn't renew my gas because I didn't want my family calling up. I wanted to be able to say no. So I didn't renew my yearly gas, and my uncle might watch this actually. But I didn't want everyone ringing me up because I don't like saying no. So I can say no now. I haven't got my gas. I can't do your boiler.
I'm just brutal. I just
That's
say
why
no.
I done it.
Too busy. Sorry, Mum.
This is a,
No, I don't.
You
This is
have
a
to
good
put
one.
some blankets on.
This is a good one for an apprentice from John. I used to give my apprentice the Screwfix catalogue, told him to learn it. It's not a bad
It's true, though.
That's not
Yeah.
a bad idea.
Told him to
Go
learn
through
the
them
Screwfix
fittings.
catalog.
Yeah, that is a good shout.
Yeah.
The Bearded Heating Co. I thought it was my TV, and then he's put, Ollie, we ever going to get work T-shirts?
No, we're not. No. Oh, so he works for me.
Oh right, okay.
I know.
What do you mean? Hold on, Brand. You
Didn't he live
love to
abroad?
wear your own T-shirt.
He lived abroad, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I see-
loves
I
to
see him
wear
on
his own
Instagram,
gear.
yeah.
He's got his hat. He loves it. He wouldn't wear it if he got it. He'd probably use it to soak up mess. That's it. Yeah, he loves his own gear.
So where's his work T-shirts? That's what he wants to know.
Where everyone else's are in their imagination because they're never getting them.
Central Heat King put oil there. Hodson Heaton said it's hard to put the time into an apprentice when you're self-employed. If they don't pick up the basics quick, then they don't last.
Yeah,
That's it. I completely agree. Yeah.
What was that story you was going to say?
About
You said.
Yeah, so
your
I
mate
was-
told you. He said he should tell you.
I was working in I was doing a job in Islington for a banker, right? He was real posh, big old, probably 10 million quid house, massive house. He was a bit of a laugh, this bloke, but he was an investment banker. He bought and sold shares and foreign currency exchange. He'd done all that sort of stuff. And it was a repair, and funnily enough, this was for British Gas, right? But British Gas couldn't do it. They'd taken someone on contract by mistake, and they couldn't do it, but they were going to appease this guy. So they asked me, who I didn't work for them at the time, asked me to come back and do it. I think it's this property. I might be slightly wrong on that, but he was telling me about everything he does and all the rest of it. And I just turned around to him and I went, one day I'm going to come back here and I'm going to eat you. And he went, what? I went, what you do has no benefit to humankind, right? And if ever there's a solar flare and all the computer systems in the world go down, I'll be back here to eat you, right? Because people will want me because I've actually got skills and can do stuff. You can move things around on a computer and make money. You're worthless. But you are the grass-fed, matured beef of human race, so I will definitely come back and eat you. And he looked at me and he didn't say anything. And I thought, shit, that hasn't gone down well. And then he went, I'm going to write that down. I like it. But yeah, told him I was going to eat him in front of my mate who just walked off. Just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
Because
of the boilers.
When we first got there, he was lording it over us a little bit, But then he became quite, he was all right. And I thought, I'm going to.
And then you went all cannibal on him.
He's fucking worthless.
He's worthless.
He might have a big house. He might be worth millions and millions.
It's true, though,
but
Isn't it true?
what does he do?
Isn't it? It's like all these people get money, like you see all these reality TV stars and all this. They all get these fucking millions of pounds and all this. But if there is a fucking apocalypse, who are the people rebuilding the world?
Yeah.
Not fucking Joey Essex and his mates, are they? You know what I mean?
Not exactly.
Hey?
So, yeah.
You all right there? You all right?
Abigail messaged me saying when are we wrapping up the live? Been going an hour. It's been going well,
Okay.
hasn't it?
Oh, we've been enjoying ourselves,
Yeah.
haven't we? We've had
Whenever you want.
We've had a nice time.
Let's go through these.
We got any beers in the fridge? Should we get right on it? Robbie wants to go to the toilet. He's holding his pee-pee.
McDonald Plumbing and Heat Supply says, "Do I miss it?
What?
The job's good, but I don't miss the ag that comes with it.
Oh, yeah.
Me, stop it. I just want to make one thing clear. It's not that I don't want to do it for people. It's just the time, isn't it? My time's too
You
wrapped
do
up
it.
now.
You got all this going on.
'cause
It.
I'm doing
Yeah.
it to
The
go
app.
and then do other stuff. It's more my time. It's not that I don't want to help people.
But you
out.
wanted to get away from it, didn't you? Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
but the thing is, if you don't enjoy it anymore, then
It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just my job it changed for me, didn't it? So it's just.
Yeah, because you want to get away from the industry, innit?
but that's what. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what I. So I got bored of
I wouldn't
domestic.
say I loved
changed.
it. I wouldn't say I loved it.
No, I didn't.
So do I miss it? Probably not. No, I wouldn't say I'd go back doing it. Because the thing is, as a tradesman, you'd be like, I'll never work in an office. Because you're used to being practical, but I don't think I'd go back to one at all.
I've tried to go in the office, in our office, and do stuff, and I just hate every second
You,
of
mate, you're shit on technology,
it.
though.
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible on
Like,
technology.
you can't even
Your
like,
wife
work
says she's going to order him
Facebook.
a t-shirt now.
No, she's not. No one's getting t-shirts from me. Lucky you get work.
Gad1T put, why did you get into commercial?
Because I was bored of domestic, just bored. I needed a new challenge. I started YouTube while I was bored with what I was doing. At the time, I was looking at trying to get out of the gas industry, like completely. I was looking at becoming a wind turbine engineer or just anything to get me out of going into 10 customer houses a day,
Blow me away by that.
having to be nice to people that I don't want to be nice to. You know what I mean?
It was a Keiran shit joke with it.
What's that?
What?
There's all the wind.
Oh, is that? Oh,
I'm too
wow.
busy looking at these comments.
Wow. You're a comedian.
Wow. To do a shit joke every now and then.
Your wife put, Ollie, what's the secret to a successful office as your office runs brilliantly?
Does it?
A good wife.
It's a good wife,
I'm
good
getting
team.
lost in these comments now.
Yeah.
John's put, Ollie, would you marinate him in Fernox?
Oh, nah. I reckon he'd be like pork belly, you know, he'd be all the fat would melt out of him and he'd just be
I think
lovely.
there's someone else that you know, Sarah Hood.
Yeah.
He's like, everyone's coming for you.
They're giving me shit.
I don't know if I pronounce your wife's name right. How do you pronounce
I-10.
I-10. I want a branded t-shirt.
Yeah. Don't do t-shirts. I don't wear t-shirt. I just wear plain black t-shirt to work and a black hoodie from Primark with holes all over it.
Yeah.
Because
What's the point?
what's the point of having a big logo all over you? Then even if they can't see what's in your van, they know he's a plumber. He's just got out of that van. So
That's good point. That's a good point, isn't it?
what's the point of
That
doing
is a good point. Yeah. My dad said to my mate said to me, he used to leave a little paint kettle and paintbrush on the front.
Why not? Yeah.
Not to have a go at you painters, and I have been all day today, but that's what he genuinely said.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that's not to say that painters' vans don't get broken into and that, but like, you know.
I feel like I feel like plumbers, electricians are targeted more. I might be completely wrong on that, but I feel like
Do you
that.
think a painter's van must have been? I'm not trying to discredit painters.
No,
but
they're going to have hand tools. My mate is a carpet fitter and he had his van done just for his hand tools, you know what I mean? So, like, they do get done, and if they don't see what's in it, it's opportunist,
Yeah,
isn't
they
it? A
probably
lot of it.
just
But that's so. If it's the opportunist, they're not going to go for the van with deadlocks. They're going to go for that van if they know what's in it. It's that simple. If it's they don't know what's in it and it's got deadlocks, they'll just go to the next one that hasn't got them.
What do you think of these? Like, you see all these people with vans on, like, Instagram, social media, and they're showing off all this fucking like Milwaukee pack out, fucking stuff in them vans. It's got to be worth about 40 odd grand just the tools in them. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's good to be organised. I said, didn't I? Like to have your van that organised. It's a nice feeling.
But you can't have it. If you're going to do that video, right, of showing all your gear and all the everything, you can't have your vans. You can't put a video out there showing all your stuff and have sign writing all over your van because you are a target. You will be a target, especially if sometimes my work van, I'm driving around with the tools in the van that are worth twice the value of the van.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think, what if that got broken into? I'd be heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken. So, van. Just don't sign right your van. Don't worry. I promise you ain't getting that much business of people seeing your van on the road and going, "I'm going to call him."
I don't think you are.
You're not getting any business from that.
No, I've never had mine sign written. Never ever.
I did. I don't think I had any business from it.
No, I don't think it's worth it. Unless you're trying to build a brand, it's not worth it. But if you're trying to build a brand, you're going to need more than one van on the road doing it.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do it.
Well,
I've
enjoyed this live.
Yeah, have you enjoyed it? You just like
It's
really
all right.
shit
Yeah, I didn't want to
yourself
come
before
here.
it.
I told you I didn't want to come. I don't know why. I get immediate nerves.
But you
like,
come
why
across
am I-
so well, though. You know.
Don't want to come
Mate, it's
down.
been
here.
really
Yeah,
good.
but I didn't want to come
Just
to
a
the
blagger.
last
You're
one.
just a blagger.
Same thing.
You're just a blagger.
You're lying, mate.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think it's been great.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming down. We
Thanks.
Good
definitely
to come down.
definitely have to do more lives.
Yeah, thanks for coming down. Thanks for all the comments.
Thank you, everyone, for the interaction. Yeah, all the comments.
And this will go out on Monday. If you missed it, if you only got halfway into it. What? That one? Never been good with direction. Yeah.
What's that?
What's that?
He's pointing to the camera, he's saying that one.
I haven't looked at the camera the whole time. So
Yeah, Monday it will be aired as the overtime show because
If
Because
you
you're
haven't
lazy, you're not
subscribed
gonna
as
do
well,
another one.
Keiran wanted to get some painting done
subscribe to the channel.
today. Hey? Turn the
You were
microphone.
going to sleep or something?
No. I'm winding you up. Oh, sorry. Oh shit, he's got his big boy pants
Let's
on.
do
now.
one more. Let's do a quick question because someone's Hodson Heaton's put. Do all your engineers have the same van stock, Ollie?
No, they don't. Van stock is. Here's the thing, right? If you incentivise someone by the more they fix, the more they earn, they will tailor their own van stock to what they walk into, right? And if someone's not incentivised by that and they're incentivised by getting paid a salary and getting home when they're done, they will rush through the work and get home as early as possible. And I'm not saying one's good or bad, to be honest, because it is what it is. The one who rushes through it still has to go back and get it fixed at some point, right? So, you know, he just earns less money, gets home earlier, and the other guys earn far more money and they organise their own van stock. So Ranj, the bearded plumber, his van stock will be absolutely spot on for his area and what he comes across because he wants to fix everything he walks into.
Yeah.
And he probably does fix over 90% of what he walks into first time. But we haven't given him a van stock. He's decided what he wants on his van, and that's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sounds like you got a good one there.
Yeah, he's a great engineer.
Brilliant. It's good to have
At
people
fixing
like
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Customers all hate him. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Right, should we wrap it up then? Everyone wants to get home and go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah, thank
Again.
you for
joining us.
Yeah. All 6 of my family and friends.
yeah. I know, we had like 40,
It'll be home
we had like
soon.
40 odd people watching
Oh, wow, okay.
at one point. Yeah, it's gone well. So see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Cheers, Ollie. Thanks,
That was
mate.
good.
Cheers, mate.
No problem.
All right, this has been another episode of Off the Job podcast.
Thanks for watching the show on YouTube or listening on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and all other streaming platforms.
If it's your first time watching or not, make sure to subscribe below and follow us on all the big social media stuff like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
For our overtime show on Monday, send us in your stories and comments for it to be read out on the show. Send it in via email, direct message through our social media accounts, or WhatsApp us on 07457 406 259.
And we'll see you on the next episode.